Welcome to Chokeholds and Chill. I'm Jenn, middle-aged grappler, coffee addict, and proud owner of the world's ugliest armbar.
And I'm Mallory, your training partner who's always laughing, even when being absolutely smashed, submission lover, and early bird fundamentals coach.
Here on Chokeholds and Chill, we dive into the lives of our favorite sparring partners, the highs and lows of training, and what it really means to chase big dreams on and off the mats.
But it's not just about Jiu Jitsu. We're here for the laughs, the lessons, and the moments that remind us why we love this crazy sport and this crazy life.
We're here to talk about the good, the bad, and the hilarious, because let's face it, the mat teaches us more than just arm bars and mount escapes.
It teaches us about ourselves and how to navigate through life while being a part of an incredible community of people.
I mean, that's how we met.
Whether you're a seasoned competitor, a white belt finding your footing, or someone who just loves a good story, this podcast is for you.
It's about the roles we take, the people we meet, and the lessons that stick with us both on and off the mats.
So grab your gi, tie your belt tight, and get ready to roll with us.
This is Chokeholds and Chill. Let's get into it.
All right, our first segment of the pod, roll call.
Yeah, baby.
And let's talk about roll call.
Let's see. I've been taken down multiple times again. I have been subbed by white belts, I'm sure. Yeah. So just right now, looking forward to Costa Rica and heading out. And
Yes, counting down the days, which by the time this pod comes out, we'll probably be in Costa Rica. Little Jenn and Mal pod.
a Jenn and Mal pod. Yeah. Today we're going to talk about how it started versus how it's going.
Yes, which is appropriate for my four-year
anniversary.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's a good.
That's going to
good
be
topic.
like a
that.
nice dive into situation there. We're gonna give some mat confessions.
Mm-hmm.
Who
Embarrassing moments, funny moments.
If I have to talk about people farting though on this podcast for that, it's not me. It's all of the men that stand on our side of the mat.
Seriously?
Thanks, guys.
It's not a lie.
It's so bad. We'll talk about that.
Yep.
They can confess. And we're gonna do some hot takes about our jiu-jitsu, and then if you guys can handle it,
some besties trivia and some fun random shit there at the end. So
yes,
we'll have a good time. Let's get it started with how it started. How it started versus how it's going, because that's appropriate for, my
The
4-year
Jiu Jitsu
anniversary. Yes. So Jenn,
yeah,
how it started versus how it's going. Tell me. What, your first class, your first impression, how did it start?
It started in a damp, mildewy room across the street from the Captain's Cabin Biker Bar in
Nice.
good old downtown Coos Bay, in some shared space with some gymnastics mats and white belts.
White belts teaching white belts, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so if you know, we'll dive deeper into the club, but that's how my journey started. And 4 days in, I dropped into a real class, so I knew what was possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And how about you? How'd you start?
Well, I started at just a fundamentals class, and then, a couple years later, I started teaching a fundamentals class, which is wild. But yeah,
teacher.
I was scared shitless. I had never done any solo sport, let alone any martial art or combat sports. I never even did solo sports. I was always on teams.
Yeah.
And even though I feel like we have a team in Jiu Jitsu, it's still when you're competing, it's just you.
100%.
So I don't know. I guess some aspects of softball, it's kind of solo. You're up to bat, it's you versus the pitcher or whatever, but it's still a team sport.
Right, exactly.
So
they need you to hit the ball.
So yeah, it was scary as shit starting jiu-jitsu, but I had another female in my class, Erica, shout out,
Woo!
love you.
Hi, Erica.
And then we had Katie teaching, so I had a female professor to start with, and I think that added a lot to my experience. So yeah, it was terrifying, but I loved it. And I went home after the first class and I was like, this is gonna be a thing for me.
BJ's like, shit.
Yes. So yeah, now how's it going now, Jenn?
God.
Going from a damp, mildewy club with gymnastics mats.
It was so bad.
How's it going?
Now we've been over at our gym for, gosh, I've been there since 2018 when they opened, and it's going much better.
Yes.
I do know a thing or two these days, you guys. So when you come at me, it's fine, but I still know some things.
Things are known. She knows things.
I knows a couple things. Yeah, it's going well. I don't ever see myself quitting, but now I'm getting much older and I need to train in a way that I can keep doing this for a really long time.
Yeah,
so
longevity.
Yeah. So it used to be like 6 open rounds after class, and now I'm at like 3 in class.
3, yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Definitely. Any advice? We just had a new batch come in.
We did just have a new batch come in, and it's a mixed bag because it's like, oh, sweet, new people to beat up on, but then at the same time it's like, but they don't know anything and they could hurt me just because they're, being crazy or whatever. But
it's like a blessing and a curse.
But that is a fun thing about how it's going, is like not being the baby, like
the new
newbie
person
that doesn't know anything. So that's nice.
The one who sits there like deer in the headlights when you're like, I don't know what we just did. I don't know. Okay, wait, that still happens. But like, the feeling when you start.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
But I think the most frustrating thing about how it's going is that as we've continued to move through Jiu Jitsu, I remember my very first competition, I had like 7 girls that I like in my bracket that I got to compete against. And then gradually, as I've moved up, you have less and less people at each belt level. And, I think my last few competitions that I've signed up for or wanted to do, I didn't have anybody to compete against. Yeah. And there's a competition this weekend, and there's nobody in my bracket. And so that kind of sucks.
It does suck.
So that's the most frustrating thing about how it's going. But overall, still happy.
Yeah.
Still love. You
have to take super fights.
Yeah.
Or do the major competitions.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. We'll keep everybody posted on that comp life.
Sign up.
As of right now, it's non-existent.
Yeah, I hear that. I think it's like that for a lot of people right now.
Yeah, kind of sucks. But
Boo. I'd like to talk now about a little thing called
Sex Operator Voice is back.
Mat confessions. Can you confess to some of your sins on the mat this week?
My sins on the mat this week. I have committed no sins. I have nothing to own up to. I do have a funny thing that comes to mind when like you think of like embarrassing moments or funny moments. Not that this isn't so much embarrassing for me. Quick shout out to our professor, David, who is wonderful, but sometimes can be a little awkward about things, or he's easy to make uncomfortable, I'll say. So sometimes I can be maybe a little candid and probably share too much.
Is there another way to be?
It's just fun for me. And to be honest, one of my favorite pastimes is making people feel awkward. So if I've made you feel awkward, you are welcome.
It's a gift.
But I think, so we were working on arm triangles, I believe. Yeah, arm triangles. Yes, it was arm triangles because it was when I was finishing the arm triangle, I was having a hard time getting the finish.
Is this on David?
It was on you, actually.
Oh.
Because then we both had a good laugh. It was a while ago, but we had a really, really good laugh after it. But I was trying to like turn my body in to finish the triangle, and he kept saying like, "Okay, turn in," and I'm like, "David, I can't turn in anymore. My boobs are in the way." And he just looked at me like, "Why do you talk, Mallory?" And he just like looked at me, and then he just stood up and just walked away. And I was like, "I understand."
It's the same as like when he doesn't think like my jiu-jitsu has to be different than his. Like,
but I love him. Love sometimes making David feel a little awkward. So, but he always takes things, well, he's a funny guy.
And it wasn't like you were trying to be weird. Like your boobs were in the way.
My boobs were in the way.
Sorry.
An update since then, I have been able to make adjustments and get the finish on the arm triangles.
New sports bras.
Which, oh my gosh, there's more embarrassing. Which I think we're going to talk about this when we have Jesse on. So I will save another semi-embarrassing moment. So stay tuned, friends.
Yes, yes.
What about you? Give me a mat confession.
Oh, my mat confession is addressed to all of you fine gentlemen who come over to my side of the mat to shit your pants. Get the fuck out of here with that. I'm embarrassed for you. Fine, you have to fart. I get it. Neon belly can be a thing, whatever. Just go a little further away. It's like 2 more steps outside.
Yeah.
2 more.
Yeah.
I can smell you.
It's always like, I always almost feel bad for some people. That I love. No, I've had,
they don't
sometimes
care.
It just fucking happens. Like,
yes.
like people just fart when they're rolling with you.
But don't come over to my side.
Right. But sometimes like it's happened while like rolling with
that's
me.
A different
right.
situation.
And that's a different thing because I felt so bad. I'm not going to name any names, but they're
going to know.
They're thinking of one time in particular where I was doing like a cross knee pass and I kind of like cross-kneed into their stomach a little bit, and it was like it forced it right out, and they were so embarrassed and horrified. But yeah, it happens. Farts happen, but if you can manage to get off of the mat and fart,
do it. Go in the boys' dressing room.
We respect that.
Yeah, you can close the door. You can go in the bathroom. I got a lot of choices for you guys. Just come and ask me. I'll tell you right there and then.
So yeah, those are the mat confessions of the day. We love to hear
Not our confessions, other people's confessions.
In general, yeah. It's fine.
We'll work on our own.
Yeah, it's fine.
I block mine out.
All right, we are going to move into some Jiu Jitsu hot takes.
Spicy ones.
So the first one that I thought of, and then we started kind of talking about it, and then we decided to stop talking about it
and
so we could share it with you here. And I don't know if it's so much of a hot take because we agreed hard on this.
Yeah, but it's us.
Yeah.
So,
but I feel like there's going to be a good chunk of people that do agree, and I think that the people that disagree are probably stupid. I'm just kidding. If you disagree,
or they don't see our point of view, and well, that's a problem. We're all one-sided in here.
So something that I say all the time, like especially in my fundamentals classes, I tell people when they're learning something and when they're training something, just master it on one side.
Yeah.
Like just train it on one side, figure out which one is your strong side and train that until you get comfortable, efficient with the technique, solid, like understanding like the details. Being proficient and like really good at it on one side is so much better than being like meh on both sides.
Exactly.
Right. And if I'm focused on trying to like do both sides, it just messes me up. Like still 4 years in, it messes me up. So I mean, I've had some people that I like say that, and no, like sometimes my advice is not taken, and that's fine.
Well, that's
but there is
them.
a pattern in which when people are trying to do both sides all the time, it takes longer, I feel like, to finally get the move or for it all to click and chain together.
I agree with that. Yes.
So, but yeah, there's still things that I only do on one side because I know that in a live role or like in competition, if I get to a certain spot where it's on my weak side, then there's just things I won't do.
And why would you use a shitty position on a weak side?
Right. So I mean, I have alternative options. So that's my hot take. I think it's pretty straight shooter here.
I like your hot take.
Yeah. You got a hot take?
I only forward roll on one side.
Same.
I know how.
Same.
But I will never do it. I will move my body to make it happen the way I want it to. So
yeah. And I like, so that's one
Hater
thing.
gonna hate.
I respect the hell out of
magical people.
the people who are like right when they start doing like just the silly warm-ups like shrimping, reverse shrimps, forward rolls. All of that was so awkward for me. And then I get people who just like get it right away and I'm like, cool. That's awesome. Good for you.
I still feel like that in class.
Like, I'm like, damn, that took me so long. Like, good for you, but also, fuck you.
Yeah,
No,
the new people. Oh, they're getting things faster. And I'm like, oh my God.
I love it, though. It's great to see.
It's good to see.
But, yeah, what's your hot take?
Oh, my hot take. Gosh, this is a tough one. I have a hot take about people who go easy on you. That's been a pet peeve of mine, in case nobody out there knows. And there's a difference between going easy and going motherfucking freight train fast. I've rolled with you recently. I'm looking at you. I won't do it again. You know. And but I think the problem is, this is why I don't like the easy round every single time. You cannot gauge your improvement and your jujitsu and your level if people are constantly like giving you everything. Case in point, my husband, but also I can tell that David is going too easy on me. Like,
yeah, kind of relating to that. It's, you know, sometimes like rolling with, when you're rolling with white belts, when I'm rolling with white belts, which I love to do because it just makes you feel good sometimes. But it is nice because you can not necessarily go easy, but you know, get to positions where you can work a little bit.
Yeah.
But what I always think is really funny is when the heads just blow up. Like, oh, I just took their back. I just got them in this position.
I can't.
And like, I remember being that white belt that would be like really amped about it, but I would never like say anything or like or act like I was excited.
We hear you in the dressing room, boys.
Because I knew that whoever I was rolling with, I was like, I know that they're letting me work, and I appreciate that because I'm not going to learn anything if I'm just getting smashed all the time.
Exactly.
But there has to be a balance,
and
like,
you can't just be delusional.
You know, like there's times where like I love rolling with Jesse. He's such a good husband.
Yeah,
I love rolling with him because I feel like he's really good at like balancing out what I need in a round.
Yes.
Like, you know, I feel like, I don't know what it is. Maybe there's just like, you can read like when I want to go hard, like he doesn't take it easy on me.
Right. He can match.
And then, but like, then there's times where he knows like I need to work something.
Yeah.
And not that he lets me get there. He makes it difficult for me to get there, but
he still lets you
work to get there. So, I mean, there's things that I like, positions that I get to when I roll with him that I'm like, I know he can stop this. Like, I know that he would have
like,
no
there's
problem.
absolutely no way.
Like, I would not normally make this pass on him, but, you know, he's giving me the resistance and letting me work. But, man, when I feel it when he's not letting me work.
Comp round days.
But yeah, so there's definitely times where it's like, all right, stop fucking taking it easy on me. But then there's times where it's like, thank you for taking it easy on me. So I'm on both sides of that hot take.
Yeah, it's true. Well, you got to have both. That's the thing. You can't have... Yeah. And this does not apply to the white belts out there who think that they need to tap an upper belt. Y'all, I'm almost 50. You can tap me all day long.
Like, that's fine.
I'm here for it. I'm totally here for it.
Yeah. So I guess moral of the hot take is communicate with your partner, you know? Try and be on the same wavelength. If you're not looking for a hard round, just be like, yo, I'm doing like 50%. And if you're supposed to be doing positional rounds, don't act like it's a competition round.
Also, if you're going 50%, go 50%.
There's some good hot takes.
Hot takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Mallory, I'm going to ask you some questions. And I'll allow questions in return.
Okay. All right. Do a little besties trivia.
Besties trivia.
See how much we know about each other.
All right. Give me your go-to submission.
Mine or yours?
Oh, yeah, mine. Tell me my go-to submission.
Well, you murder me with the arm bars all the time. And I don't know if it's not necessarily a submission, but you somehow always manage to get like my head stuck. Like my head gets stuck in between your legs all the time.
In the sheet pocket.
Sounds so dirty. Sounds so dirty.
It's
but
not
I don't know
like
what
that.
it seems that I always just fucking get there and it's fine. But
I
that's,
just want the triangle.
that's not
Just give me your arm and your head won't be there.
Literally, it's fine. So somehow I always end up in certain positions against Jen. But I think arm bars are like the go-to. Like you're a nasty arm bar.
I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. Yes.
So,
yes.
but what's my go-to submission?
You are the queen of the Kimura.
Kimura.
Everybody knows that shit.
I love the Kimura.
And they can't stop it.
It's
golden.
You get that grip, don't fucking let it go. Don't let it go.
Yeah.
Just don't. Be patient. It'll come.
It'll happen. Yeah. Every single time.
Here's a on the fly. Here,
Yeah.
What's my least favorite submission, or what submission do I suck at the most?
Oh,
I would love to know from your perspective.
I'm slightly
Be
baffled
honest.
here. I am. Suck at.
It's a tough
or
question.
least favorite. Yeah, I don't think you're loving any feet submissions right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean you suck at them. I just say you don't gravitate that way.
I don't.
It doesn't work with your game.
Yep.
You don't.
And then when I roll with people who are like, I like when Zach's around, and he's the leg guy, but when he is around, I feel like I'm forced to work on my leg defense a lot more, which is great. So I feel like I'm not bad at defending my legs, but I never go for the legs. So that should be something that I maybe work on. So, but yeah, and you're just good at all the submissions, and I don't know if you have a least favorite.
My least favorite submission is I hate loop chokes. I hate doing them. My hand gets caught. I can't stand them. But the boys are making me use them, so I'm learning to love them.
Yeah. They are fun. When you hit one, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fire. How about what's my biggest pet peeve in class?
What is it? No, I'm just kidding. I would say sometimes when people go off on like little tangents and questions about something completely different than we are working on, things like that. I would say like when we are in one class and people are coming in for the next class and they are fucking chatting and we're like, yo, there's a class going on, shut the fuck up.
But I think it's my biggest pet peeve for a reason. Like I can't hear.
Yeah.
I can't hear anything.
Like
so when
said,
y'all
she's
come in and you're
50,
like,
guys.
I'm getting old, you guys. And when everybody comes in and they're talking, I want them to have their conversations, but I can't hear. So my biggest pet peeve is talking over teaching.
Yeah.
Only that part. And who's my dream person to roll with?
Like a jiu-jitsu person or a like random person in the world?
I don't know. Yeah.
Or
also, just for the record, I don't even have an answer for this because I roll with my husband all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like,
well, how
about you?
I have a dream coming true in the near future.
Yes. Mallory's dream is secret.
You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Everybody has. I have a jiu-jitsu crush. There's like two professors that I watch their like instructionals. Like there's so much content like out there on the internet.
Insane.
So I watch Chewy's and I watch Fion's stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think that I like how they teach and explain things. So I love Chewy's videos, and he is my jiu-jitsu crush, and I know he's married to a lovely wife, and I'm also married, so it's fine. It's fine. But it's okay to have a jiu-jitsu crush, and going to Costa Rica soon, and I'm going to get to roll with him, and I'm incredibly excited. So that is my dream, and dreams do come true, kids. They do.
I love it. I have a question for you, Mallory.
Okay.
We're all about survival. I'm curious if you would survive a zombie apocalypse.
You know, I like to think that I would. However, I admittedly don't know a lot about zombies. Never got into the zombie TV shows and shit. But I would like to think of myself as like an Arya Stark.
Oh yeah.
Even though I've never had any training with weapons or knives or
like
anything
karate,
like that.
You just do it, right?
Arya Stark is just my inspiration, and I'm gonna imagine that I would be a badass assailant like her in a zombie apocalypse. But in reality, I'd probably just turn into a zombie.
Yeah, I like.
What about you?
I mean, my zombie knowledge is based on Michael Jackson's Thriller video from 1984 at 9 years old. So I don't know what to do. I think you're supposed to cut the heads off, and for those reasons, I'm out.
Okay.
No.
All right. How about would you survive being in an escape room with the worst, like least favorite training partner in the world? Would you survive an escape room?
I would. He would not. That motherfucker would get what's coming to him, and that is a shank.
Ooh,
so,
all right, watch out. Okay.
Yeah.
No escape rooms with Jen.
No, everybody
Noted.
except for one. If
Noted.
you know, you know. How about you?
I love a good escape room. I've only done one like twice, but I love them. I think they're super fun. I would rather do it alone.
Yeah.
I'd rather do it alone. Yeah. I think that I would survive, but I just don't think it would be.
It wouldn't be very fun.
Yeah.
No.
So.
Well, at least you don't have to kill somebody. How about last but not least?
Last but not least,
because we have to go into the animal world. This is kind of a joke because an untrained but angry kangaroo, they're born knowing how to box. So I'm really not sure. Like they could also kick like a.
I really would love to meet a kangaroo.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to fight one. I feel like I'd lose.
They're huge.
Yeah, I'd lose.
Yeah, same.
Side note about kangaroos.
You can't take them down.
Yeah, I mean.
They're going to Tomonaga you.
But
oh my God.
All right, so in conclusion, we might survive
wrap it up
some
with the
things.
chill zone, but we're not going to. Yeah, there's some survival.
Yeah, let's get chill.
Let's get chill. Chill zone. What are you doing these days?
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do tonight to chill out. After we are done recording, I think that I'm going to try and convince my husband to take me out to dinner because I have been running around all day and I did not do any chores or shopping. So I don't have anything in particular to cook.
Nice.
And we have some gift cards to use. So
perfect.
I'm hoping to chill out with a little date night.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. I'm on a rest day today. So I've been working all day. And I think this evening, I'm probably going to chill out in the hot tub, eat some food, and sit on my fluffy couch.
Love that for you.
The couch is chill.
It is the chillest of the chill zones.
One of these days we'll put my couch on the Instagram. We'll talk about it.
I love it.
I'm obsessed. Alrighty.
Well, this was a fun little solo Jenn and Mal pod.
Yes.
We have some other fun upcoming episodes coming up and some cool guests that we're going to have on, including both of our husbands.
Yes.
One of whom trains and one of whom does not. So it'll be fun to chat with them.
Yes.
And
yes.
We hope that you come back and join us.
We'll see y'all soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Check us out on Instagram at Chokeholds and Chill Pod or shoot us a message at chokeholdsandchillpod@gmail.com.